Right now, you're listening to the Scary Vibes podcast. My name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Big Paranormal. Welcome back, everybody. We are really excited to be able to have an opportunity to speak with our guest here today. Our special guest is Jordie, or WhyJordie, known by her various social media platforms. You know, she's a writer, YouTuber, and TikToker here, man. We are so happy to have you here today with us, Jordie. How are things?
In regards to what exactly? I'm just chilling and yeah.
Life, this thing called
Life.
life.
I've been
How are
just
things with you?
chilling, playing a lot of video games. That's probably my main thing that I do throughout the day, and watch people play video games and watch horror movies and make content. That's about it.
Like Big said, it's very cool to have you on. We always do. The very first question always has to be, Jordy, what is your favorite scary movie?
I don't know if y'all are gonna take me seriously after this, but it's actually my biggest comfort movie of all time, and it's Final Destination 2.
Oh,
Oh, part
Yeah.
interesting.
two.
Part two, the pile up, the log through the windshield, all of that. It's my comfort film. I literally put that on when I'm having anxiety. It calms me down. I don't know why. It always has.
Really? Wow, that's actually pretty interesting. Well, okay, so we've got a kind of like a couple firsts here, right? Like for one thing, I don't think we've ever had a guest actually say any of the Final Destinations, let alone the second one, right? So,
Hmm.
and the fact that you say that when you have anxiety, you literally put on this movie that causes millions of people of anxiety all the time. So, like, that's very interesting. I mean,
Hmm.
what is it about the film that calms you down? Is it the fact that like maybe you already like know the outcome, you've seen it so many times?
Well, so it's the first gory horror film I ever saw. I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And because I saw the second one before the first one, so I didn't know the concept of it. But my mom
Mm,
was like, "Let's watch a horror movie and put it on." I was clearly too young for it, but I saw like the first like major death scene in that movie, and I was just enamored. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so cool!" Because I knew it was fake. My mom was like, "It's fake. They used a puppet or whatever, probably." And I was like, "Wow, how they do that?" And like, I used to want to be a horror filmmaker, so that was what jump started it. And so it's just a movie that I watch over and over. I know every single word to it. I have the soundtrack, like I have everything in regards to it that's ever like been like the script, like all of that. Like I collect stuff about Final Destination 2. And it just the reason why I love horror movies so much is because I first off I do suffer from anxiety and depression. So
hmm
when I'm feeling anxious or feeling depressed, I put on a horror movie because it reminds me that things can be bad, but at least I'm not like being chased by a killer doll. At least I still have my face, like at least I still, all this. So like I put on Final Destination 2 and it's just, because it was my first introduction to horror. So it's like, well, not to horror, but like gory horror. And I don't know, I just love it.
The thing about
Okay.
that movie is, back in the day when you would ever see a logger truck right after that movie, you'd be scared. It would give you like you said,
Hmm.
anxiety, this and that. But nowadays, it's like when I see one of those, I'm ready. I'm like, just let it
Uh-huh.
happen. Just let all the logs fall. Let it just take over. So now I look for them.
Yeah,
I try to get behind them every single time.
I do too. Is that messed up?
I'm
So
just over it. I'm just over it. And you know what? If it's my final destination, then it's my final destination. So you said you're a big horror fan. I actually have a fun
Hmm.
question that we did in one of our streams a little while back, and it was the Mount Rushmore of horror. I'm actually curious
Mm.
if you had to build your Mount Rushmore, who would be on it?
Like of like the horror like villains or
Well,
just like in general.
anybody from any horror movies, who would be your 4 that would be on the Mount Rushmore?
So it would definitely be John Kramer because Saw is my second favorite franchise of all
Mm.
time. And I have multiple Saw tattoos. I have Cherish Your Life in Lee Whannell's handwriting, who's the guy who wrote the first 3 Saws and plays Adam in the first Saw movie. So
Hmm.
definitely John Kramer. Um, Also, I forget her name. Why am I forgetting her name? Oh, Amanda from Saw also. And probably Danny from Midsummer. I love Midsummer. I'm
Mm.
weird like that also. And then I'd say if I had to choose a fourth one, I'm going to go with Mads Mikkelsen as Hannibal
Ooh,
because
Wow.
I also have Hannibal tattoos, and the Hannibal TV show is like one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Okay. So this again, this Mount Rushmore is completely unique. I love it. The fact that like it seems like you lean into kind of like the psychological aspect of the horror, right? On like that
Mhm.
side of the spectrum. Um
Yeah, I
Especially with
like really gory ones.
okay, okay. Yeah, honest bro, those are some great picks, man. Those are absolutely amazing.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys seen
thank you.
this. I was actually scrolling the internet like we all probably do, and I saw that there's a Saw, I think, musical in Chicago. And I was thinking to
I saw
myself,
it.
I was like, Big, we have to go.
Wait,
You
there
need
is a
it.
Saw musical and you've actually seen it, Jordy.
They came to they toured. They came to San Antonio last year, and I saw it live. And I have like a hoodie that says "Saw the Musical" on it. It was really funny. Yeah, it's like a parody.
Oh man.
Would you recommend it?
Yes, it's a parody. It's very funny and goofy. And if you've seen the first Saw movie, like you'll think it's hilarious. Honestly,
I have a question
yeah.
for both of you guys, and I'll answer it also. If you could turn any horror movie into a musical, which one would you
Oh,
pick?
that's
I'll go
actually a
first.
great. Oh man, I got
House of
yeah.
a Thousand Corpse. That would be my choice. House of a Thousand Corpse. I feel like they have the characters, the set design, the costume. It's all there. Let's just add a little bit of music, and it would be
Yeah.
perfect. What would you guys do?
Hmm. After think okay, so basically after giving it some thought, maybe I would say maybe Candyman. Just because I
Mm.
feel like there would be a lot of like power ballads in there because of just the pain and everything, the whole love story. I think that actually would be a pretty unique, uh, yeah, definitely a unique musical.
Yeah. That would be really cool. Tony Todd, rest his soul, he would be a killer. He would do a killer like singing in that, like his deep voice and everything. Oh man, I wish that could happen.
I'm wondering if he
Um
would sound a little bit like Barry White or something, just have that real
he
deep, deep voice.
oh he would pull that off so well. That would have been awesome. The remake was really good too.
Hmm.
Um Honestly, I think that Hannibal, the TV show, should have had like a musical episode. That would have been hilarious. Like, because Will Graham, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but like Will Graham, like, he has like encephalitis in the show at one point. And like, so, just like one of those, he's tripping balls and everyone just starts singing, like an episode. And like, I don't know, it would have been so cool to like see Mads Mikkelsen as Hannibal, like, slicing up people and singing at the same time. Like Repo the Genetic Opera is one of my favorite musicals also. So
Hmm.
it would be reminiscent of that for sure.
I mean, I'm usually not a huge fan of musicals, but I do love me some Sweeney Todd. Not even gonna lie,
Yes.
man.
That's my
It's
favorite musical of all time.
it's so beautiful, right? I just everything from like the set design to like The way that his like the razors that he uses are just so beautifully crafted. There's something kind of magical about like the dark sets, but then like when he, does the slicing of the people's throats, how like just this color just bursts forth. Oh man, it's beautiful in my opinion. It's absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. But yeah, that's
I,
pretty much
I
the
was a
only
weirdo.
musical. Yeah.
I was a weirdo in high school and I was obsessed with Sweeney Todd. And I would, like lip sync it in my room and like do like that song that you're talking about is called
Hmm.
Joanna Reprise. And I would like lip sync it in my room and like do the slicing motions and everything like to this because I knew exactly when it would happen in the movie before the movie even came out because I saw it so many times in theaters.
I
I was a
yeah,
freak.
I got really excited one time because like I was like surfing eBay just looking at random things, and I'm a knife guy, right? Like I have a collection of
Mhm.
different types of knives, and I came across um a razor, like a straight razor that was modeled off of Sweeney Todd's razors,
Ah.
right? And I couldn't resist. I was like, I gotta buy two of them. I bought one for myself and I bought one for my barber, actually,
Oh
ironically.
wow.
Yeah, I bought it for him and I gifted
Good
it to him.
luck.
He thought that it was just the coolest thing ever, so
I
it
have a
was pretty
T-shirt
awesome.
with that exact razor on it. Like I should have worn that T-shirt for this podcast because it's the razor for Sweeney Todd and it's like dripping with blood and on it. It's cool.
Oh man, I hope they make that in like a 4X. I would rock that bad boy.
Vintage Hot Topic. Yeah.
Oh, if it's Hot Topic, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. No, they're not gonna have my size.
That's definitely like a fear though. Like you were saying that you gifted it to your barber. Like whenever the barber's kind of like cleaning up your neck with like a straight razor blade. I mean,
Hmm.
it definitely crosses my mind like there's another person holding a razor to my throat right now, and then I'm trusting
Hmm.
them. And I'm taking so much trust, and it takes a lot of trust, but we do it. And it's kind of
Right,
creepy if you
dude.
think about it.
So the thing is that those straight razors, like obviously, I stopped going to the barber like a couple years ago now, but like we're still really, really good friends, right? But I've taken to like doing like how you see how straight my lining is on my beard. Like I use a straight razor at home, and the thing is that they are so sharp that they can nick you and you would not even feel it. So I can't tell you how many times like I've gone to like take, I've gone to do the line, and then I'm like cleaning my razor off in the sink, and then all of a sudden I just see like a drop of just crimson red hit the sink, and I'm like, the hell? And then I look up and I
Oh.
see like, oh, like I freak out. I'm like, oh no, dude. And then like the superficial wounds, man, they bleed so much. It is crazy. But those things are super, like, just ridiculously sharp. And every time I would nick myself, I would think about Sweeney Todd and just think about how, man, those scenes where he would just go right across their throats.
It'd
Oh
be so
god.
easy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned, that Final Destination 2 is your, favorite scary movie. It is your comfort movie. Is there a scary movie that makes you uncomfortable or that you would consider it the scariest movie you've ever seen?
So one thing about me, one thing I don't like in horror movies is body horror. I don't like body horror. My biggest squick in movies is when someone gets turned into something that they're not, like Tusk. But here's the thing also, because I love the movie Tusk, but it traumatized me. And the reason why, okay, so this is how my brain works because I'm a freak. I saw Tusk in the theater. I was like, me and my friend at the time were the only people in the theater because nobody liked that movie. And I went and saw it, and I was so gutturally disgusted, and I hated that movie so much. I forced myself to go see it 5 more times in theaters to desensitize myself to it because I was so scared. And so I like forced myself to watch it over and over. To this day, I still have a phobia of Justin Long because I can't look at his face without seeing the walrus. But here's the thing is that I love that movie, but is at the same time like it is the most disgusting. I'll never watch Human Centipede.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never watch anything like that. I don't even want to watch The Substance. Like it, I don't. I've heard it's great, but I just like That's one thing that I just don't like at all. Yeah.
Wow, that is super interesting. And I'm wondering, like, what about those movies specifically? Like, so, I mean, I've seen the movie and I'm a fan of it also. And I'm surprised that, like, when that movie Tusk came out, it had received a lot of hate, right? Like, at first, and people were talking so much smack about it. I mean, unjustly, honestly, because after watching it, I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, like, bro, on so many different levels I was disturbed because of the fact that there are people out there, I'm sure, right, that would do something like this, right? There are those
Mm-hmm.
people that have become obsessed with some aspect of the past that they're trying to recreate. And that's basically what this crazy old man in this movie was doing, was he was trying to recreate this best friend of this walrus when he got stranded on a rock in the middle of the ocean during World War II, when like his tank, the oil, or I'm sorry, not the oil tanker, but the he was on a submarine and it went down. And it was like the fact that this dude was so obsessed with this walrus, and he was able to take a person and turn a person into a wall. Like, dude, I don't know, Mr. Scary, have you seen this film?
You know what? I haven't seen it. Just
Don't.
continue.
Don't. They take the dude's leg bones out and like tape them or like sew them to his face so that his leg bones are his tusks. It's the most disgusting thing that you've ever seen in your life. It is
Yeah,
horrifying.
I've seen so many like clips and edits of it,
Ugh.
and I mean, it looks like it's one of those movies that it'd be
dude.
kind of hard to watch the entire time, but I haven't seen it. I mean, it's on my to-do list, but there's so much to do, so little time.
Like, the messed up part of it too is that Justin Long plays a podcaster too,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's kind of like almost like the how like a younger Howard Stern of his time or something like that, where like he's kind of a shock jock. There's a lot of people that don't like him. He's kind of like brash and he's kind of a jerk. But like by the end of the movie, when you see him and he's in like full Tusk form, and you see the pain in his eyes and he's just crying because he like sees reflections of himself in the water. Dude, it is heartbreaking, man. It's so bad. And the fact that like even after, spoiler alert, like even after the damage has been done and he's like turned completely into this flesh walrus, which it kind of makes you wonder, where do you get the rest of the flesh from to
From other
create
people
this?
he
Like,
kidnapped.
is that what it was?
Yeah, like it's all like it's patchwork. Like if you look at like the
Oh.
giant walrus, like it's like different bodies, and then like there's that scene where like they show under the water, like when he like
Mm-hmm.
goes in the water and tries to drown himself, and there's another whole walrus down there. Like so
Mm-hmm.
he'd already done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's just it messes with your head on so many different levels, dude. And it really makes you
Mhm.
like not trust anybody, because he went specifically to meet this guy. I believe it was in like some part of Canada, and
Mhm.
like he drove to
Manitoba.
this guy's house, yeah, to try to interview him, because he was told that he had such interesting stories, and this guy was very much about the macabre and like really dark things, dark subject matter. It's
I
kind of
like
like you,
it.
man.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Kind of like you, dude.
You
I
relate.
recommend everybody's got to see it at least once, I think.
Well, this would be a perfect time to kind of plug our Discord.
Mm.
You heard it here first. We have a Discord. We just started 2 weeks ago. We've been doing movie nights. We have a movie night every Monday, and maybe
Mhm.
one of these Mondays we'll do Tusk. So if you haven't joined, reach out. I'll get you a link. We'll get you in there. But yeah, it sounds like a movie I definitely need to watch. I love walruses. I love watching the videos of them like rocking out to like metal music and their mouths like they're rock stars. So I'm
I
actually
can't look at
curious.
walruses normally. Ever again.
Mm.
And
Totally
It ruined
traumatized.
it for you. So I'm
mhm.
actually curious,
And
Jordy.
just a
Do you
mom.
have So I'm actually curious. Do you have any like creepy or any paranormal things that's ever happened to you?
So I did have this moment when I was a teenager. And to this day, I still don't know what happened.
Mm,
I'm 15 years older than my sister, and it's just us. So like like I was basically like a second mom to my sister. And this one day, I was 15 years old. My little sister was probably like 6 weeks old or something. She was a tiny, tiny, like new baby. And we lived on the third floor of an apartment. We were going downstairs. It had rained the night before. So, like, on the bottom floor, it was like super, super muddy and this apartment complex. And so my mom was like coming behind us. And I went down the stairs and I was holding this little baby, and I get to the bottom of the stairs, didn't see how much mud there was, or either that or underestimated just how slippery it would be. And I stepped onto it and I started slipping, and I literally felt like I was going to throw my sister. And like I literally felt the baby flying out of my hands, but I felt these like arms around me grab me and pull the baby close into my chest and then like help me down to the stairs so that I was like sitting. And I'm like, oh my God, mom, thank you so much for like being behind me. And like, oh my God, I almost threw Haley. Oh my gosh. And I turn around and my mom's still at the top of the stairs. There was nobody, but I felt these hands like physically.
hmm
And like, so something was with me and like saved me and saved my sister. Because I mean, it would have been bad if I'd thrown the baby. So
mm.
yeah, there was like a guardian angel, like something. It was something. Yeah. I still
So when
think
you
about it all the time.
so when you say you felt, these hands grab you, like did they feel warm, cold? Did you feel like was it a tight grip?
I mean, at the time, I thought it was my mom. So, like, I felt like, I mean, it felt like, at least at the time,
Normal.
like, yeah, like, it was just, it was I felt this hug, like, around my body. Like, they were behind me, grabbing
Mm.
around me and pulling the baby, like, giving, like, a backwards hug. And I felt it physically. And then turn around, my mom still at the top of the second floor, nowhere near
And
Wow.
then
me. There
when
was nobody around.
and then when you saw your mom, like did you have like what type of
I
feeling did you
freaked
have
out.
then?
I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my God, mom, like I almost threw the baby and I felt these hands and everything." My mom's like hugely like into angels and stuff. She's like, "Oh yeah, I was an angel." I was like, "Mom, no, you don't understand. Like I almost threw the newborn baby. Like there was arms around it." She's like, it was angels. Don't worry about it. We're fine." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like she didn't
I
think it was a
love
big
your
deal.
mom's confidence, man. I love her
Yeah.
confidence. The fact that she was just like, meh, it's just angels. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But again, we've had another first. Like, this has got to be the first time that we've actually had a very positive sort of paranormal guardian angel story. And honestly, I'm here for it, man, because we hear a lot of
Mhm.
like the stories where people have been terrified or have had something like very puzzling or something that they can't even explain. So it's actually pretty refreshing that we have like a story now where it's kind of inspiring, right? Like it's kind of reassuring that there is, sometimes there are these unseen forces that actually have your back, that will watch
Mhm.
out for you, that will protect you. And that's great. Like that day, you were just, man, super blessed, super guarded, whatever this thing was, took good care of you, took good care of your sister, and just kept just really bad things from happening to you both. That's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. And like her 20th birthday is at the end of this month. So
Mm,
it's like, I mean, it's been a long time and like I still can't imagine like if anything had happened to her, like my life would have been completely different. So, I mean,
right.
something was watching over me and helping me for sure.
Mm,
So I know earlier, like pre-episode, we had gotten to talk for a little bit, and you said that you're in Texas. I'm actually curious. I'm always curious to know, is there any like urban legends? I always feel like me and Big, we're from the Chicagoland area, so we grew up with certain legends like Resurrection Mary, and now there's new ones like Gargoyles of Lower Wacker Drive in Chicago, and all these new ones. And I feel like we could always tell those stories better than anybody else because we grew up on them. Is there a story from like Texas that you grew up on, or an urban legend you grew up on that scared you growing up?
Um, Not particularly, but I did grow up in Houston. So, and which is, I grew up like in like the Kemah area, which is like near Galveston. And if you know about the flood of 1900, like pretty much everybody in Galveston died. So Galveston's like, right there on the coast, and it's the beach and everything. And that's why they built the seawall, which like made the entire city like 10 feet taller. And so pretty much everybody died in the flood of 1900 in Galveston. And like that area in Galveston, super, super haunted, like super haunted. Like you'll hear the craziest stuff if you ever look up stuff that has happened in Galveston. Um, so that, I mean, that's as close as I can think. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have like a cool,
I
like
mean,
specific one.
an entire town dying. That's pretty creepy, I must say. I have
Yeah.
never heard of that, but I'll definitely look into it and see. I can imagine the energy in that city. Like, do you ever feel like any type of like dread or anything when you're there? Is it just like a sad city?
No, it's beautiful. I mean, it's the beach. It's awesome, but it's honestly, I'm more scared of the Rainforest Cafe down there because of
I
the
love the
animatronics and
Rainforest
stuff.
Cafe.
But the one in Galveston has the water ride. It's a dark ride under the Rainforest Cafe, and it is full of animatronics. This super super dark ride on water, and there is
Ooh.
this massive animatronic down there that terrifies me and has terrified me my entire life. And so every time I go to Galveston, I'm just like, oh my god, that animatronic is like somewhere like near here, and I freak out. But then my family always likes going on it, and I'm like, I hate this, and so I'm more scared of that, to be honest.
What is the animatronic though? Of what animal?
It's not well, there are the animatronic animals. There's like the animatronic snakes, gorillas, and like alligators and stuff, but this specific
Mm-hmm.
animatronic is this massive wall, and it's a Mayan like deity, and he's like huge. He's like 30 feet tall, and he like has this really booming loud scary voice, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's just terrifying. Like it freaks me out. It reminds me of the Mayan Mindbender ride at Astroworld when Astroworld was up and running,
Mm-hmm.
and that ride terrified me as a child, so it's just reminiscent of that. And
Gotcha.
that's another thing, is abandoned theme parks freak me out like
Mm.
more than almost
Somebody,
anything. So
somebody was just asking me like, "Hey, what's the perfect date, Mister Scary Vibes?" I'm like, abandoned amusement parks. That's the top one.
uh
But
Oh man.
that was amazing foreshadowing. So let's bring everybody all together here. So basically, I felt like maybe like a month ago, a couple weeks ago, one of my followers reached out and was like, "Hey, you need to check out WhyJordie, and you need to get her on the podcast, and you need to do an interview with her." So I kind of reached out. I looked into you. You actually have a very, very unique phobia. Well, actually, I thought it was unique, and then I went on, and
Mhm.
how did
a
I?
there's like a subreddit with over 600,000 people that are like screaming about this, and it is a real thing. So tell me about this phobia you have.
So this phobia is called submechanophobia, and it is a phobia of anything man-made, either
Mhm.
completely submerged in water or partially submerged or like near water. Mostly submerged. But it is things like shipwrecks or seeing pipes in water. That's a big one for me. I hate pipes. Seeing cars completely flooded underwater, things like that. Animatronics in water, and it was triggered by something that happened to me when I was little. So
Interesting.
So you
And I'm
actually, yeah, you actually.
curious. I'm sorry. I'm curious as to like, so it sounds like it has something to do with like maybe metal or plexiglass that like is submerged. Is that like, am I correct in thinking that, or is it more than just that?
it's it's not. It doesn't have to be metal. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But it just has to. It's almost like a liminal spaces type of fear where it's like that's not supposed to be there. And so
Okay.
it's like a instinctual, like that's not supposed to be there. I'm freaked out. I don't like that. I don't. Have you ever seen the movie Happy Feet?
Of
Yes.
course. Yeah,
So you know
absolutely.
the scene where the giant machinery like falls into the ice and falls into the
Yes.
ocean, and it's slowly
Yes.
like sinking down into the ocean and the massive expanse of the ocean. That
Mm.
scene traumatizes me. I hate watching that scene, and that's my
Wow.
favorite kids movie of all time, and I'll watch it all the time. But that scene, if that's submechanophobia, like stuff like that. Yeah.
So you had
Okay.
mentioned that you know kind or you think you know kind of where this fear came from. Like how far back does it go and how did it start?
So, interestingly enough, I think I figured out exactly where it was triggered. I have two instances actually. I'll tell you the one instance that I thought was the instance, and then I'll tell you the second one if that's okay.
Mm.
So the first instance, I went to SeaWorld when I was 8. And I no longer condone SeaWorld, but I was 8 years old. This was 1999. And my grandma took me. I was obsessed with whales. I was obsessed with orcas specifically. And now I am like massively traumatized. And orcas are like my biggest fear ever.
Mm.
That's another whole thing. But I went to SeaWorld. There, okay, I'm getting flustered because this freaks me out. Sorry, let me take a breath.
Take
Um,
your time.
so there's this roller coaster, and it's still there to my knowledge, called the Great White. Back in the day, to get into the queue for this roller coaster, you had to go through a tunnel, and it's this big, like, uh, white building, and it's circular. You go up the stairs and through this tunnel. Now you have to go like around, like this tunnel doesn't exist. Back in the day, you had to go through this tunnel, go up the stairs. There was this massive, I believe it was a shark tank that had like little mini reef sharks in it.
Mm-hmm.
I either remember it being a reef shark exhibit or just a fish tank, but
Mm.
it was this massive circular fish tank or reef shark tank with these. So the whole fish tank was not exposed. It was like these windows, probably I don't know, 24 inches by 24 inches into this fish tank area. There was three of them around this circular area where you had to walk. In this fish tank was a massive fake blue whale head just staring at you through the glass.
Mm.
And I saw that at 8 years old. And I was so freaked out by it that I ran out and I had a phobia of whales and fake things in water ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the funny thing. There's no photos of this. And I feel crazy because, like, some people on Reddit and stuff like that remember this whale. Most people have no idea what I'm talking about. There's no photos of it, there's no videos of it. And so, anybody listening to this podcast, if you were at SeaWorld in San Antonio in
Mm.
1999, do you remember this fake blue whale head? Because I feel crazy. um, it had to have been real. And so I thought that that was the trigger.
Mm.
But recently, I was rewatching one of my favorite films of all time. Also, I have a lot of favorites. The Mask, 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Good
And
one.
at the very beginning, so I was 3 years old when The Mask came out. And I watched that VHS over and over. I wore that thing out. And at the I remembered that I used to skip the intro. And I always thought it was because I had a crush on Jim Carrey and I just wanted to get to Jim Carrey.
Mm.
But I realized that at the beginning of the film, there's this scene of this underwater scuba diver who has to like go get the mask. And
Mm-hmm.
this giant fake pipe breaks off and crushes this scuba diver. I've had a phobia of pipes
Mm.
and water my whole life, never could explain it. Rewatching the mask from the very beginning, saw that pipe, was like, I think that's what triggered it right there. Yeah.
Mm. At
So like
3 years.
I,
Wow.
so I know one thing about me is like I had talked about in one of our episodes about like my fear and I am scared of the ocean, especially at night when the ocean is just chopping around, you just see endless and endless and endless. And that scares the F out of me. And then I got on this subreddit And today I was scrolling through it, and I'm like going through it to kind of prepare for, this episode that we're having. And I started to get anxiety in my chest looking at some of this stuff because, especially when I got to this oil rigger, I mean, the fact that there's just a, like you said, when you look at it, it just doesn't make sense. You're looking at a building standing on like giant, beams in the middle of the ocean. It's always looks like it's kind of swaying around. The water's still chopping, but the building is there. It just doesn't make sense. Your brain is kind of like it's not making sense. So I kind of get what you're saying, and I was getting anxiety in my chest from doing it. So hopefully I don't have a new fear. Thank you.
I think it sounds to me like you are starting to see exactly where Jordy is coming from with this. Like, I mean, it's still foreign to me. Like, I've looked into different videos and things of that nature, trying to like research it myself. I think I'm starting to get an idea. It's literally like how you had explained to Jordy. Like, okay, the only thing is it's these are things that are supposed to be above water, but they're no longer above water. And it's like, it kind of freaks you out. At first, I did think that it had something to do almost with like, kind of like claustrophobia, almost like thinking if, okay, you like one example that you had brought up was a car that was submerged in water. Like automatically, what I'm doing is I'm placing myself mentally inside that car. And I'm thinking about like if I was on a bridge and then all of a sudden that bridge collapsed over water and then I suddenly found myself submerged and water is just seeping in. Like, I mean, that freaks me out thinking about those kinds of things. And I'm wondering if maybe it goes hand in hand. I don't know. Right? I can't really.
You think about, sorry, you think about yourself in the situation of being in the car. I'm just freaked
Mm-hmm.
out thinking about looking at the car. Like,
Oh.
I'm not actually putting myself in this situation. Like, I know that it can't hurt me. I
Mm-hmm.
know that. Like, because like I said, orcas are one of my biggest phobias also.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be in a pool with a real orca than a fake animatronic orca. The
Mm.
thought of having an animatronic orca anywhere near me, especially in water, scares me so bad. It's indescribable. It's like the stomach dropping feeling you get when you're on a roller coaster. Like it's like a sickening, like I don't know what it is. Like I try to figure it out. I can't.
Man. See, now I'm thinking, I'm surprised that nobody has tried to do something like this, right? Because I know there have been videos circulating of like that old school Universal Studios Jaws ride where they show the shark,
Mhm.
and like I'm surprised no horror director has tried to like cash in on this because apparently it freaks out a lot of people. So I'm literally thinking, I don't know, man, there might be a movie in the future specifically that has a mechanical orca
Oh,
submerged
the
that like
Free
I
Willy
don't
2. Free Willy 2 used all orcas and there's videos of them and it freaks me out. But like
mm,
yeah, there should be a submechanophobia type movie. Like there should
hmm.
be. And I want to be in a cameo like Markiplier in Five Nights at
Would
Freddy's.
you
Like
do it
there's
though? Like, would you actually do it though? You don't think it would be too much to like you're literally putting yourself in the presence of the thing that freaks you out the most?
I'm a horror fan. I like scaring myself. That's my favorite thing is scaring myself.
I like this though. I like hearing the fact that like you're like, I'm gonna face this. Like I
She's
like
a
being
dare.
scared, but I'm gonna face this.
I
She's a
went to
daredevil.
I went to
Mm-hmm.
New York last month or June. In June, I went to New York, and I faced one of my biggest fears, which is this sperm whale and squid statue at the New York Museum of Natural History. They gave me a free ticket to come and take pictures with it because I was so traumatized or terrified of it looking at it, and made multiple videos about it. And they were like, come take a video with it, come take photos. And I filmed myself like a vlog style. My roommate had one camera, I had one, and everything. Went up to it. I was shaking. I have it on my all my
Mm.
social medias if you want to see it. But it was like my first time really And it's not even in water. It's just a sperm whale and a squid statue in the complete darkness in the corner of this museum to
Mm.
simulate deep water. And I was shaking, like I was freaking out. And so that's my thing. Is like I kind of want to travel and like look at the things that I'm scared of. Like I want to face my fears. That's like that's my thing. Like in my like I wouldn't say I have a fandom or anything, but like that's my thing. Like is face your fears.
Mm.
That's my saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you might be onto something now, especially with like this type of a niche, right? Because I don't think it's ever been done, right? So there are people who have been able to face their fears when it's come to like, an animal that terrifies them or a situation that terrifies them. But like this submechanophobia or like this phobia that you have of these the simulated, being in the deepest part of the ocean with this not even real, weren't like sperm whale, like you were talking about. And like maybe there might be some type of reality TV show in your future where, you can start going to these, like, would you be open to, like, would a submarine, like going into like an actual submarine, that would probably freak you the hell out, right? Like,
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know if I could get in a real submarine. I could try,
mm,
but I am also actually claustrophobic, so I don't know. What
oh,
like
okay.
I would try.
Mm,
I would try. Yeah, but
okay.
I
So,
mean that would be something that I'd want to experience for sure. It's just like to freak myself out as much as possible. Yeah.
Like I
man,
was
so
gonna
like
say,
it kind of seems like the whole Queen Mary thing, right? Like the Queen
That's what I was going
Mary
to bring
is a
up.
warship, right? Like
Mhm.
that's a combination of different things. You got the supernatural, and then you've got this other fear on top of it too. Oof.
Yeah, the Queen Mary propeller. If you've never seen photos of it, it's this
Mm,
absolutely massive underwater propeller. And yeah, it's supposed to be there because it's a propeller, but it is such a sickening photo and like video. And just to look at it in this giant, just stagnant pool of water, this
mm.
huge propeller, it's just, I don't like it. But I want to visit it at the same time.
that's that's what I was gonna say. She's a daredevil. I
Mhm.
saw the video that you're talking about where you went to the
Hmm.
museum and she's like she has to like psych herself up to go in the room and you could see the giant sperm whale. If you've ever been to the Science and Industry Museum here, Big, you know how they have that giant like submarine warship underground there? That's how it
Yes,
is.
sir.
It's giant. This sperm whale they have is huge and she has to psych herself up and go in there and you're a rock star, but it's definitely
Hmm.
entertaining to watch. Somebody who doesn't have that same fear because you're kind of like, what is she freaking out about? But you're generally scared, but you're facing your fear. So you're also like a hero. You're inspirational because you're not letting it stop you from seeing these things. You're facing it head on. You're like running towards it.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, and that's another thing. My biggest thing is in regards to social media, getting comments and DMs and things of people telling me like I have always had this, but I've never had a name for it. I didn't know I other people had this. Like you help me feel not alone. That's
mm,
like the most rewarding thing to like make help people not feel alone because it is weird. Like it's socially acceptable to be afraid of spiders or snakes. But if
hmm.
you're like, oh, my biggest fear is like underwater animatronics or like a shipwreck or something like that, people look at you like you're weird. You're just looking for attention. It's like, no. And so that just helping people makes me happy.
I
so I
love
know
it.
earlier I know in the earlier in the episode you said that you were a gamer and I'm actually curious BioShock.
I've played all of them and honestly I love like I said my favorite movie of all time is Titanic. Okay? Like I love scaring myself and so I love BioShock. It's an excellent game. And
Mm.
to see the whale outside the window and stuff like that when you're going into rapture like but also I love it.
Did it scare you at all, or did it terrify you? Yeah, I can
Mhm.
imagine. When I was doing a little bit of research for this episode, I had seen another game that they were talking about online. I have never played it. I've actually never heard of it until that moment. Iron Lung. where you're
Mm.
like you're in a submarine and like an ocean of blood and the entire world has like disappeared except for this ocean of blood. Have you heard of it or played it?
I have not played it myself, but Markiplier made a movie out of it. If you don't know, it came out a few months ago, and I went and saw it in theaters, and it was excellent. It was terrifying, but it was excellent. And yeah, I've never actually played the game myself, but yeah.
So
I'm just
also
curious.
when I was
I'm
go ahead,
sorry,
Big.
Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like going back to the Titanic thing, and you saying that that was one of your favorite movies. But I'm curious, like, is it one of your
Of
favorite
all time,
horror movies, or is it one of your favorite love movie? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like love
Eh,
story movies.
I've seen Titanic quite literally over 2,000 times. Like
Mm,
it's I mean I've taken count. I love Titanic. It is my favorite movie of all time. I can quote it back to front. Yes, it's 3.5 hours long. I don't care. um
wow.
the yes, it scares me. Like even just to hear Rose say the word propellers, like, oh, I was leaning over to see the propellers. Like hearing her
Hmm.
say the word propellers gives me that stomach drop feeling, just hearing the word. But yeah, I mean, I'm desensitized to Titanic for the most part because I've seen it so many times. It still creeps me out to watch, but it's not, it's, I don't love it because of the submechanophobia stuff and like to scare myself. It's just because of that.
Right.
But probably the part that scares me the very most in Titanic, well, there's two parts, is when she's, or Rose is like running through the corridor and the lights start flickering and you can hear the creaking
Mm,
of Titanic, like the loud creaking sounds of the boat like going down. And then when it's completely submerged, you can see the word Titanic on the back of the bow. And as it
mhm.
sinks, like going down into the ocean. Like I seeing that movie in 3D when it every time it's re-released, I go see it in theaters in 3D. I have to close my eyes. I literally can't. I can't look at it.
Why do you do it to yourself? This is like so crazy because
I know.
you're telling us that you're terrified of it, but then you go and you see it in 3D, which makes it even more like I would think even more terrifying for a person that has this phobia. But still, man, it's just like you're a badass. If you're like purposely doing this, it's kind of it's admirable, honestly. Because like I'm I still kind of have like a fear of zombies. I have like a zombie phobia. I've somewhat gotten over it because over the years I've watched like The Walking Dead. I've watched tons of zombie movies, but I will not do one of those like real
Haunted
life,
houses.
scenarios where now they do these things where they do like an outbreak scenario and they'll give people like these guns and whatever, and you will have to run from these people that are playing zombies, right? They do the whole
Mm.
makeup and everything like that. There's no way. There's no way I could do that. So honestly, I got to tip my hat to you because it seems like you do these activities to face your fear all the time, and it's awesome.
Hmm.
But me, I'll sit that one out. I won't do that with the zombies. I'm good.
There's no shame in it. Don't worry. I'm a weirdo. Everyone thinks I'm a weirdo for doing what I do. Like people, I don't remember if I said this earlier, but people always comment on my videos and they're like, "You don't actually have this phobia. There's no way that you have this phobia because you're actually like looking at these things." And it's like no, I am terrified of these things. If
Mm,
I got started making content of these things in 2021, like reacting to submechanophobia videos, just like on YouTube, like things people had already uploaded, and just looking at like compilations, and like you can see like how freaked out I was just looking like the first time I made content about it, and finally like I decided to make it into short form in 2024. I was like, nobody's ever made it into short form, so let me start doing that. And it took off. And then I learned that I'm definitely not alone. There's so many people, like hundreds of thousands, that you
mm,
know relate.
So I know in your adult life, or at least right now in this present time, that you're really big on facing your fears and you won't let that hold you back. Has there been a time in your life where this fear has held you back?
Um, so can't think of a specific time except for I will never go on a cruise. That's
Mm.
one thing that I will never do. Like to be
It,
stuck out there. No.
it's one of those things also for me. I don't find the appeal of going on cruises, the idea of just being out there in the water. Then also like I always hear stories about like people going missing and like they never like report it. Just like where
Oh
are these
yeah,
people
and
going?
oh yeah, and apparently if someone throws you off a ship in the like on a cruise, they don't even become liable for murder. Like they could literally do it and get away with it because and don't do this if anybody's listening. But like I
What the?
read recently or heard or watched a YouTube video recently because it's
Hmm.
international waters. You can't be tried for it. So if you push someone off a cruise ship and they're never going to find you. So, I mean, if someone sees you do it, it's that's
Right,
different.
Yeah,
right.
But like, I mean, it's very difficult to prove that something happened. And so, I mean, because it's international water, like anything could happen. Like it freaks me out. The thought of falling off a cruise ship, nobody know, especially at night. Could you imagine falling off a cruise ship at
Oh
night?
man,
They're never gonna find you. Being in the
never.
ocean, like you, that is And that's not
I'm
why
about
I'm
to,
scared of them. It's just like to think
yeah,
about the fact that I'm on the ocean, I'd be freaked out.
yeah, that's like the icing on top. I'm about to like pull up my list and I'm about to be like, "Hey, do you want to mend old relationships? I think we should go on a cruise together."
I just got the craziest deja vu of this exact conversation and this exact screen and everything. That is so weird.
Whoa. Okay.
That is because I mean, two guys from Chicago, one wearing a hockey mask, the other guy with an amazing beard and a great lineup on it. That is nuts.
That freaked me out just now. Like literally the exact conversation and like y'all looking the exact way you do. That is I get deja vu sometimes, but that was probably the clearest one I've ever had in my life.
You know what? Listen, there's a lot of theories as to like what deja vu is, right?
Hmm.
Is it just like, is it some type of like time travel type thing? Is it like maybe you experience this from like an alternate reality? There's tons of different theories out there, and it just confuses me way too much to even think about them. So I'm just like, I just chalk it up to like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe my mind created some kind of duplicate memory or something like that. But
Yeah, some people say it's like it's just your brain getting confused of like a specific moment and it like but I personally I'm a spiritual person and I
Mhm.
personally believe that deja vu is a snapshot telling me I'm on the right track.
Yes.
That's how
Mm.
I view it. But
Well, then
that
we're
was
we're
crazy.
definitely gonna listen. We're gonna go with that. We're definitely gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that positive outlook.
So also when I was going through this honey hole or whatever the hell we're gonna call it, rabbit hole, the genre of like aquatic back rooms. How does that make you feel?
Like liminal spaces, like pool rooms and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah.
I play those. I stream those sometimes, and I can play Resident Evil. I can play Outlast. I can play Silent Hill all day and not be scared. The
Mhm.
second you put me in a liminal spaces game where I'm swimming in a pool, I can't do it. Like it is, I get so freaked out. I put this clip up recently where I was playing this one game. It was called like Liminophobia. It was just like the demo of it and I started like hyperventilating almost because I was so scared because I looked under the water because I was like, I don't know where to go. And like liminal spaces games is just like, it's a walking sim, but like there's
Mhm.
pools, there's like scary corridors. Anyway, I didn't know where to go. Sometimes you have to go down to get out. I like, had my camera looked under the water and there was these massive fake statue hands in the water just like reaching up and
Mhm.
I freaked out so bad. I was like, I have to quit. And I literally quit playing the game that night. I couldn't do it. but I can play
Wow.
any other horror game and be fine, and it doesn't bother me. But that kind of stuff, it nothing freaks me out more. Yeah.
Yeah, no. No, it's definitely terrifying. I was watching, like the video of it. I mean, back rooms alone are already like eerie and creepy. The more research you do about them, the more almost kind of like the whole deja vu thing. Like it's in your brain. It looks familiar, but it's so off. It's just like it doesn't make
Hmm.
sense. And then you add like this aquatic feature to it of like being able to go in the water or get trapped in the water and this and that. It's just a whole different level. There's like different levels of fear. You're opening my eyes
I'm
to so many
definitely gonna have
things.
to look this up. I definitely have to look this up, man, because like the idea of back rooms, I understand, but like you're saying aquatic back rooms. So like, are we talking about like a corridor of like just different doors, right? Different doors like that seem never ending, but now we're talking about like they're submerged. Like, is that what we're talking about here?
Sometimes they're submerged. Sometimes there's just like a giant pool room. It's just a pool
Okay.
there, and it's just
Like
there's different versions
otherworldly,
of it.
like an
Oh.
otherworldly type giant pool. Like I'm talking like, and these are nightmares I have all the time. I have nightmares at least once a month about being stuck in a massive otherworldly, like not logistically possible in real life, uh,
Hmm.
aquarium that has like hundreds of orcas in it. Just a massive. I'm talking like what is it? The Vegas sphere. Like I'm thinking
Mm.
like an entire Vegas sphere sized aquarium thing with like orcas. That's the kind of stuff that I have nightmares about. And I think
Mm.
that's what he's referring to as something that's just so expansive. Like these pool liminal spaces games are like pools that are like 5 football fields long, and like
Mm.
they're just like these massive massive ceilings, and just like it's freaky. And
Okay.
yeah, that's what I thought he was talking about, because
Like,
that's
so
the
the
kind of
fact that
games
it's
that I
just like
play.
they kind of just like keep going, right? Like,
Yes.
that's the thing that kind of freaks me out about um like hotels. Like when you go to stay at a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and every single hallway looks exactly the same carpeting, the same color doors, everything, and they just keep going depending on the size of the freaking building. Like they just keep going, and there's different numbers and everything on it. It freaks me the hell out because I think to myself like, yo, I'm totally gonna get lost in one of these things. Like it oh man, it's so scary to even think about. So I can definitely see what you guys are talking about when it comes to like those types of things, like that kind of like back room. Like I oh god, see, just thinking
Like
about it's giving me
abandoned
goosebumps.
malls. Like, have you ever
Uh,
like been into a mall where like half of the mall is pretty much like desolate? Like there's nobody there. All of the shops are closed. It's that
yes.
kind of freaky stuff. And sometimes like there's video games that have that, like a abandoned mall, but
Hmm.
there's like 5 feet of water and you have to swim through it.
Oh wow. Okay, so like
Yeah.
something that would be almost like a post-apocalyptic scene or something where
Kinda.
you you're right,
Yeah.
Sometimes,
like
yeah.
you're literally in like the remnants of a building that used to be kind of booming, right? And it's like under normal circumstances, we all know that this is like a space that would have been popping, there would have been people walking through it. Like you had mentioned an abandoned like mall, which one like a few years back I actually went with some of my friends to an old mall that we used to go to, like some of my high school friends, and it was like the most depressing thing ever because out of this gigantic building there was only like maybe one wing of this building that was still active, and they had a couple stores that people were still going into, but everything else was just completely empty, kind of boarded up. Like they put like paper over the windows, and we were just walking this building, and it was really depressing, to be like, yo, this place used to be popping back in the day. Like there was tons of men, women, children, all walking, laughing, joking, buying things. It was just a lively place. And now we are in the remnants. Like we're basically in the skeleton of this building that's like dead now.
Yeah, abandoned places is another thing that I cover, because
Mm.
abandoned places, I don't like, especially abandoned amusement parks. Like
No,
they
I'm
just
gonna
like, especially. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm gonna go on your page and be like, okay, these are gonna be all my next date spots. These are all the date spots right here.
So yeah, because I'm scared of, first off, I'm a roller coaster enthusiast. Absolutely
Mm.
love roller coasters. When a roller coaster is functional and the park is opened, but looking at photos of abandoned roller coasters with like vines over them, or they're like half
Mm.
submerged or something like that. Like one of my best friends, he went with me to Six Flags recently, and he was telling me about how one of the roller, and I didn't know this, and I thought I knew everything. So he pointed out one of the roller coasters, which is called Chupacabra at Six Flags Fiesta, and he said, "You know that roller coaster came from Six Flags New Orleans." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "That's why it's on stilts now, because it was damaged during Six Flags New Orleans when it was completely flooded during Hurricane Katrina. It was like half
Oh,
underwater and it was restored." And I was like, "I've been on that roller coaster so many times, and you're telling me that was at Six Flags New Orleans that was submerged?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I will not go on it anymore because I am freaked out, because if you've seen photos of abandoned Six Flags New Orleans when after
mm.
Katrina, all of it underwater, vines over all the roller coasters, just it is sickening to me.
Literally the worst thing that he could have told you.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, he
so
likes
bad.
scaring me. So fun.
Oh man, that's rough. Oh jeez.
Oh, and we go on log
Okay,
flume rides, and he's like, "There's a drain. Look, there's a drain." And I'm like, "Can you stop, please?"
This is like the worst friend ever. What the hell?
okay, so I have like two rapid fire questions. I know we're already, at the end of the episode. Two rapid fire questions. One, do you go swimming? And two, have you ever played the NES game Echo the Dolphin? And how does that make you feel?
I have not played Echo the Dog. I haven't even heard of it. What is that?
Oh yeah, see that might be like before her time,
It's a
man.
Super Nintendo game where you play as a dolphin and the entire time you're underwater and none of it makes sense. You're just constantly going
Oh,
back and forth and you're
You're
kind
a
of
dolphin.
trapped there.
Yeah, you're a dolphin.
I need to look this up. I've played Man Eater, where you play as a shark, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of submechanophobia in that.
Mm.
But no, I need to look up Echo the Dolphin. And then just like, also just real quick, just a really quick one. Probably the
Mm-hmm.
scariest submechanophobia game I've ever played, which you wouldn't even qualify it as a submechanophobia game hearing about it, is Horizon Forbidden West, which is like the
Mm.
sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. And you
Yeah.
get the ability to swim in that game. And there's an entire underwater city you have to swim through, and there's a bunch of robot robot sharks and robot dinosaurs in the water with you while you're trying
Oh.
to navigate the water. And it is I played that game when it first dropped, and
Mm-hmm.
I was so freaked out. I had to quit so many times, but I was loving the game so much I had to keep playing. But anyway, that's horrifying. And I'm sorry, what was your other question?
Do you like to go swimming?
Oh, no. Oh.
Oh
I
man,
That's another thing, is I have a phobia of swimming pools because of the drains, and I have an irrational phobia that a giant trapdoor is going to open and a whale is going to come out or a shark's going to come out.
I did watch that
I
you
can't
know,
open
video.
my eyes underwater. Yeah.
you know what? That makes
Those
sense
during
though. That makes sense. It does
No, she
because
she did a
I've literally
video.
been like, okay.
She did a video big. Like in public pools, like, and you know how they have like those open and like closing doors, like for the filters, like to drain it out, like so it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't overflow. She
Mm-hmm.
did a whole video on it, and those things are creepy because like I would always like kind of be scared, like you're gonna get sucked down there.
Hmm.
Dude, I'm actually
It's
thinking about
happened.
tubs, man. I'm thinking about tubs and how I did for a while have an irrational fear where like I was in a tub and I would imagine like a great white just like coming up and just latching onto me and just pulling me down. Like it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, right? why a great white
Mm.
would just jump up from the bottom of whatever, pool, shower. Like, it makes no sense, but I would definitely do that. So I do actually, yeah, we're
That
right here.
same friend, sorry,
Hmm.
didn't mean to interrupt you. That
No,
same
you're
friend that
good.
I was telling you about that likes to scare me, we went to Schlitterbahn recently, which I hate water slides. That's another thing, is because I have an irrational phobia that I'm going to go down a water slide and I'm going to get to the end and a whale's going to be there with his mouth open. And I start freaking out halfway down the water slide. And so he was like, let's go. And I was like, no. But I went, and because I'm weird. And I like to scare myself once again. And that was terrifying. And I immediately, after I get in the water after a water slide or something like that, I
Hmm.
immediately swim as fast as possible to get out of the pool. Like, I look like an idiot.
Wow.
I like, truly, I look crazy
I
at
mean,
water
but
parks.
you're in your defense, you are running from the whale, right?
I
Like, you're
literally
running.
think that. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my god, there's something in here. It's gonna get me. I freak myself out. Yeah.
Right. How are you with elevators?
Strangely, I'm fine with elevators. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you not fine with elevators?
Well, it's not. I'm not afraid of elevators, and the funny thing is that I have like a bad track record when it comes to getting stuck on elevators. Like, I've been
Mm.
I've been stuck on elevators like 5 times. It's like
I've never
ridiculous.
been
But
stuck, but I think if I was, that would, yeah.
I definitely have this irrational fear of when I'm standing and I'm waiting for the elevator to get there. I have this irrational fear that, like, when the elevator does get there and then the doors open, there's going to be just a herd of zombies that is going to come out of the elevator and they're just going to get me.
So
That
you
is
get
my
it. Like, that's the
I
same
do
kind
get
of
it.
concept. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I get it. Like, I'm a grown ass man, but I mean, I've
You
I've
start
thought this way.
overthinking something's going to happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah, but
definitely.
it's like the most crazy thing, though, right?
I get the anxiety of, especially when an elevator's taking a really long time, and then you're like anticipating it, and it finally comes, and like you're like waiting for the door to open, but you don't know what's gonna be there, who's gonna be there. So you get a little bit of like anxiety in your chest, and you start thinking about it. So I could definitely get that, but not zombies.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
So
why. Yeah, that's
Did
that's
something
where
trigger your zombie
my
thing?
brain
Did
goes. Oh,
Were you
oh
like
yeah,
little
my
when you watched a
brother.
zombie thing?
So my brother, he's the whole reason why I got into horror movies, right? Like, my brother was that, like, crazy, just like kind of strange kid who loved to just watch horror movies. They were like his lullaby. He would watch them while he would go to sleep. He was that kind of a guy. And his thing was zombie movies, right? And he didn't find it fun to watch them by himself. So he would drag his pudgy little brother around and he would,
Mm.
force me to watch these zombie movies, even though I was completely terrified of them, and but it was because of him that I've seen like almost every single zombie movie that's ever been made, and it is for in his honor that I continue to watch them, right? Like, Shaun of the Dead is definitely one of my favorites, but it does scare me. It does. There are parts
Mm.
of that movie. I don't know if you remember, if you have seen the movie, and if you remember, there's the scene where they're just outside the pub, right, which is supposed to be like their safe haven, and they start arguing with each other, and then they realize, wait a minute, we're completely surrounded by zombies, and
Hmm.
they turn and they look, and you just see this horde of zombies just standing there with these dead eyes just staring at them. Like, bro, that scene just scares the crap out of me.
Oh.
Oh man, like, that's what I'm afraid of, that I'm gonna see when the elevator doors open. Definitely.
Well, Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil movie, the very beginning of that movie, the girl loses her head in an elevator. So there you go with your
Mhm.
zombies and your elevator.
Totally related.
Yeah.
Totally related. Mm-hmm.
now you're gonna lose your head on top of it. But Jordy, this has been so much fun. Let all our listeners and watchers know exactly where to find you and what you're working on.
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube under WhyJordie. That's WhyJordie. And I made up that name in 2018 because people are always asking me, why are you like this? why are you like this, Jordie? So WhyJordie is just stuck. And yeah, I make content on submechanophobia things, abandoned places. I'm going to start an urban legend series on my YouTube account. I actually this week am starting a YouTube series where I'm going to do extreme deep dives on the thing that I've made TikToks about, and going like further, like making, 20-30 minute long deep dives on, the things that I make TikToks about, which are usually only like a minute long. So I'm going to like do so much research and, add everything about the specific subject in my YouTube videos that I'm going to be making. So I'm starting that next week and I'm very excited. There's going to be like urban legend stuff, abandoned stuff, going into pretty much everything in that type of creepy genre, and just making a whole bunch of new content on YouTube.
So excited to check it out. So excited. We're at the end of the episode. Scary Vibes. It's a horror community me and Big created 6 years ago. Started on Facebook groups. I recommend anyone to go check it out. We also just started our Discord. If you're listening or watching this podcast, please like, share, comment, share it with a friend. But my name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Bigg Paranormal. Once again, Jordie, thank you so much. We definitely will be on the lookout for your future content. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, guys.